Hey there, everybody. I've got an activity for you today. This activity is called the ratio and proportion activity with two color chips. So first of all, you should have your worksheet that looks something like this. And ideally, you're able to print it off. But if you're not able to print it off, see if you can just copy it down nicely on paper. I have it here opened up in my Google Drive. And it kind of made things look a little bit funny. I added some underlines here to make it actually look like these are fractions, because if you've seen the original worksheet, you know these are fractions here. Like this is 2/3, this is 3/4. So you do whatever you need to do to make it work. If you do open it in Google Drive, just make sure all the numbers are where they are supposed to be. Okay, so you're going to have this activity page, and then you're also going to have a link that is in the assignment page for these virtual two color counters. Let me switch my tab over to that really quick. Okay, so this is the page for your virtual two color counters. And you see you've got these red dots and these yellow dots over here. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna drag them out onto your screen. And it's pretty easy to do that. Let me grab some yellow ones. And you might want to arrange them nicely into groups of 5. You're going to need to pull 30 of them out because you'll need 30 for the activity. And it can get a little bit crowded, so arranging them in nice little lines might be helpful just so they don't take up too much room on your screen. Let me show you one other function. You can use this right here to change the color. So don't worry about how many are red and how many are yellow, because you can just go in and change those super easy. Okay, so let me change to a different tab now where I've already got all 30 of them pulled out, so you don't have to sit there and watch me pull all 30 out of them. Okay, so here you can see I've got 30 little color changing chips, two color chips. So let's look at the first line of our worksheet. Let me show you that too. Sorry, it's a little bit of a process, so it takes a second every time I change tabs. So it says in this first problem here, there was a number 1 here, it disappeared. But in the first line, you have your ratio of yellow to red chips, 2:3. So how many yellow is that? It's going to be 2 yellow because that first number is 2. And then how many red? It's going to be 3 reds. So you have 2 yellow to 3 red chips. And so this is blank. Number of yellow chips is blank. The number of red chips is blank. And over here you have the total number of chips. So what you're going to do is you're going to use these chips. And as you can see in this problem, you're only going to need 20 of them. You're not going to need the full 30 for this first problem, although you will for the second. So you're going to figure out a way to arrange these chips so that there's a total of 20. And the ratio of yellow to red is 2:3. Now you might want to just play around with that a little bit and see if you can make the numbers work, or you might want something a little bit more systematic. I would love to see you play around with it as much as you want, and then kind of settle on a method. Let me go ahead and show you one method that should work. So again, let's just memorize these numbers so I don't have to flip tabs again. The total number needs to be 20, and the ratio needs to be 2 yellow to 3 red. Okay, so going back to where I have all those counters already out. Okay, here we go. Now here are all of my little dots, and we needed 2 yellow to 3 red. So let me just go ahead and build myself 2 yellow to 3 red right here. I'm going to build myself one little batch of 2 to 3. Okay, so right here you see I have 2 yellow to 3 red. And how many is this total? It's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, is that the total we're looking for? No, we're looking for 20. Okay, so let's make another batch. It's like making little recipes, right? So 2 yellow to 3 red. 1, 2. Grab this guy down here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I've got 2 batches made. So do I have 20 yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm only at 10. So let's make ourselves another batch. 1, 2, oh, got the wrong color there. Let's change him. Okay, better click that again. 1, 2. I'm gonna plan better this time and actually grab a red one. Okay, now we've got 3 batches of 2 yellow to 3 red. Are we to a total of 20 yet? No, these are each groups of 5. So we're only at 15. Let's see if we can get all the way up to 20. All right, bear with me. We're almost there. These are kind of fun to play with. I'm doing this in a really structured way, but if you want to just go through and like experiment with these things and figure it out and play around and change the colors on them, you should totally do that. That's great. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 5. If you were to count them all individually, that would equal 20 two-color chips. So that's exactly what we needed, is 20. So let's go back and look at the questions. I have my sheet here, so I'm just going to read it off the sheet. It's asking us for the number of yellow chips, and it's asking us for the number of red chips. So that first question, number of yellow chips, and I'll show you where to write this in just a second. But let's just go ahead and count these up first. So when it says number of yellow chips, you can ignore all these because we didn't use them. You're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now let's go over here and write the number of yellow chips. So that's going to be in this field right here. Number of yellow chips, I believe we said was 8. So I'm going to put that 8 right there. And now where it says number of red chips, let's go back over and count those up. Okay, here we are with our chips again. 1, 2, 3 red, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, looks like there were 12 of the red chips. So let me get my fun color again. I don't know if this is the same color or not, but hey, it matches. How about that? Okay, so we have 8 yellow and 12 red. And that was a total of 20, and we definitely kept our ratio of 2 to 3. We're really organized about that. So we're done with this one. Now let's look at the second problem. The second one has blanks in different places, so we don't know what the ratio is. We do know how many yellow chips are showing, don't know how many red chips are showing. We do know the total. So you've got a total of 30, and it looks like 10 of those are yellow. Okay, let's go back to our other tab and play around. Okay, it says that this is being recorded. I hope the other tab worked. I'm going to go back to it because I have a feeling I did not make this work. So just in case this didn't show up a second ago, we put an 8 here to represent the number of yellow chips and a 12 here to represent the number of red chips. So if I missed that tab change, so sorry about that. I am going back now to the 2-color chips. Okay, so now what did we say? We said that we know there are 10 yellow chips, and we know there's 30 total chips, but we don't know how many red. So let's just get our 10 yellow chips here. Let's get all the reds out of the way. I do know there's a total of 30 because I counted these out. So on my whole screen here, there's a total of 30 chips. So I think I just sent one down way too far where I can't see it anymore. So we might have to count again. But let's just go ahead and line up some yellow chips first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, whoops. I don't know where that went. 9, 10. Okay, so we have 10 yellow chips, which is what we want for problem number 2. Let's go back there and just look at it one more time, okay? So, 1 second. All right, so again, we're on this second line here, and we need to know what the ratio is. We know we have 10 yellow chips. That's good. We need to know the number of red chips it's going to take to make a total number of 30. Let me go back to my chips. And there we go. Okay, so we've got our 10 yellow chips. Oh, I better turn that guy red. Okay, so now how many red chips do we have? 1, 2, 3. It might be easier just to count the dots, but I'm feeling like I've lost a few. So I'm just going to kind of arrange mine in an order so it's a little easier to count them. Oh boy, I just clicked a random button. This will be easier for you guys because you're not using the video software at the same time. So there's just a lot going on my screen. Okay. So we've almost got it. So how many do I have in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 9 in each. Yeah, I think I lost a couple of discs. So we have 10 yellow, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I need 2 more. Boom, boom. Okay, now I've got 30 color changing tiles, color changing chips, 2 color chips, whatever you want to call them. I've got 30 of them on my screen. And now I just need to figure out how many are yellow and how many are red. We know that 10 are yellow and how many are red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to make 18, 19, 20. So we've got 20 that are red. Okay, so let's go back over here. Give it a second. So we know that 20 of them are going to be red. And as you might notice, 10 plus 20 equals 30. You may have noticed that already. But now we need to write the ratio of red to yellow. No, I said that wrong. Ratio of yellow to red. So we're going to do this number first over this number. I don't know how to write a fraction on this quickly and easily, so I'm just going to use my sideways slash, and that's totally fine. 10 over 20. Now, is this my final answer, though? Is that fully simplified, fully reduced? No, it's not, is it? So I'm just going to do a little equal sign here. You don't have to do the equal sign. I'm just kind of showing what we're doing. So 10 over 20, if you simplify, you can divide both of those numbers by 10. You're going to get 1 over 2. Now, what's another way you could play around with these 2 color chips and figure out the answer to that ratio? You could just see how they line up. You know, you could do, let's see, 1 yellow. I'm just going to go ahead and pair it with 2 red. You should be able to make a whole bunch of little groups of 1 yellow with 2 red. And if you're someone who enjoys fiddling with this and just wants to see how they line up, then go ahead and do that. You should have a bunch of little, what I call recipes of 1 yellow and 2 reds by the time you're done. But that's just optional. If you don't want to do it that way, that's totally fine. Let's go back to our little worksheet here and see what else we need to look at. So this next problem is a lot like the first problem. It tells you a ratio of 3 to 4. It tells you how many red chips you're going to have. So I would make my little batches and then just figure out how many yellows there will be and then the total numbers. And then here on this next one, you know how many yellows there are going to be and how many reds there are going to be. And you have to figure out the total and you have to figure out the ratio. So there's different bits of missing information in all of these. And like I said, there's more than one way to figure out the answer for these. It's a bit of an open-ended exercise, which is the great part about it. So if you want to kind of explore your own way, I definitely empower you to do that. Figure it out, play around with things, and don't be afraid to make mistakes, okay? If you have questions, you can certainly ask me. There is one more line on your worksheet that's not showing up here anywhere, and it's number 11, where you have an A over a B. I'm going to just ask you to skip that part. So if that one's confusing, don't even worry about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.